Cleveland bar. No, this is definitely a diner.
December 3rd, 2017. Y'all are listening to What's Happening in Cleveland with your host, Kevin Baird.
Ryan Anders. Oh, Ryan Baird.
Dick.
I ruined it. I'm sorry.
Nobody cares anyway. There's only
And Don Anderson.
Larry's not here this week because he's driving. He might show up. His
I got
head
excited.
might appear on the thing. With that, kind of like the guy from 1984 that appears in the movie. Just
Big
that-
Brother?
Yeah, just the Big Brother face that appears.
I thought you meant Max Headroom.
You're like, oh, it's Larry. Oh, Jesus.
Larry comes back. He's like, hubba, 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 hubba.
Greetings, people of Earth.
I've had a cold all weekend, so I'm not that chatty.
Well, good. I'm glad to see somebody else caught it.
I'd say you gave it to me, but I don't see it, so it wasn't you.
I got a cold, but I'm not putting up with your shit.
Your fucking shit.
I got one of those guys at my work that has like 2 young kids. One's 2 and one's like 0 or something. So those people, they catch everything, and you know.
And then there's sort of you.
Yeah, he
like having
sneezes, and then we're all gonna get whatever he has. And it's
Plague.
some kind of child plague. Yeah,
A pox.
it's had time to like sort of build up inside like a weak human before it's been transported over and grown.
An immunity that just won't help you at all.
Just completely becomes a voracious disease by the time it reaches me. Feeling better than yesterday, but yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's still going to last until like April. I mean,
You know, sometimes they go away quick, and then other times they kind of set up in your chest and last forever.
yeah, they just sit there like a pair of small children sitting on your chest.
And I'm kind of hoping that
Little butts pressing down your lungs. Please stop.
Man.
Please stop.
All right, Brian, why don't we start with you then?
Huh?
Did you do anything this week? Did you drive your truck into anybody or anything?
No, but I saw that our friend Tony Urba posted on Facebook that a road near Sandusky collapsed. I'd have
Like
to
a
actually
bridge or?
No, like the actual off ramp. I'm trying to find it because I knew it was going to come up, and of course got distracted. But yeah, a major road here, let me see, Ohio road collapse. It's gonna probably be like, 1970 there was.
Yeah.
Okay, Route 269 exit from westbound Route 2 closed in Ottawa County because that fucker fell apart.
Or fell apart. Got it.
Yeah.
So
basically.
some guy told you like a game of telephone about a road somewhere that fell apart. That's what happened this week in
Route
Bradley.
2 westbound exit to State Route 269 is closed because if you look at the picture, it'll show you that half of that damn thing, basically due to water erosion. If you all remember that movie 2012, I guess that's what was happening. The plant was just dissolving, except where the happy people were, which I know was in Africa. And yeah, anyway, so yeah, it just eroded, and the road just like, they were like, yeah, we were pretty certain that it was going to keep holding out, like, nothing to really worry about, and then it just like fell apart. And I'm like, okay, I don't take that route at all, except I do take the route that's like nearby, I think, when I'm heading, wait a minute, so like the first thing I thought in my head was like, of course, I'm like, it'll be one of the routes I have to take. It'll clearly be one of the roads I have to, go down to deliver freight on because that's my life. It'll, prevent me from getting to where I have to go. Because that happened a couple weeks ago. I was heading down to Bucyrus, Ohio, and Route 4 was under construction. I'm not going to blame the state of Ohio. They did put a warning out saying in about 2 weeks, it's going to be closed. This route will be detoured. And of course, I forgot. So the following week I went and saw the road's closed. Got to take the detour. I'm like, fuck. So I was about half an hour late getting to my first tour, but nobody cared. It's, Thursday. They're like, yeah, so apparently they're just, they're going to have, the road fell apart, and they're going to have to try to repair it somehow, probably glue, road glue, or however the fuck they work that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's big news here in the grand state of Ohio. The weather, except recently where it rained a little bit, it's actually been pretty nice. I mean, a little bit chill in the morning, but a lot of sun, which is really unusual because normally we don't get to have that.
Don't worry, it's going to turn freezing in the later part of this.
Oh, I know we're going to pay for it. I mean, that's,
It's supposed to get really cold later this week.
Right, that's it. You go on the internet, you know, which means Facebook or whatever. People are posting shit on about the weather, and you know, they're always like, you know, Farmer's Almanac says this is going to be the worst winter, and immediately you're like, no, it doesn't say that. Anywhere it says it's going to be exactly like last winter, where yeah, it will snow, and it'll be really cold. But it's why are they posting shit saying it's the worst? You know, and of course they never answer.
Cleveland, it's always just a crapshoot. Every day.
Oh yeah, you do never know. Some winters are nothing, and some winters it's like Hoth, you know, and it's like Christ all fucking mighty.
Yeah.
You're trying to drive through here, man. Jesus Christ, what, you know. And then you look. The thing is, I look at like videos I posted of like, you know, winter I'm driving through, and I'm just like, what the fuck? In my mind, why am I driving through that shit? You know, knowing full fucking well I'm completely going to be driving through it again this year and next year if I survive, and blah blah blah. Let me see. I guess Hatebreed played yesterday. I didn't go.
Ruined my story, jerk.
I didn't go. So if you went, you can fill us in on.
You ruined my surprise.
And I was going to talk about the Breaker reunion, but I guess I don't want to ruin that either. So
I wasn't at that. You're okay.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of other friends of mine went to that, and I'm like, I was in my room playing on my PS4. You know, everybody else is out, you know, celebrating, you know, going wild. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I could have. Part of me was like going, isn't something going on tonight? And then the next day, like, oh yeah, they even posted, you know, we could go out and do shit. I'm like, no, I'm gonna run around the Boston wasteland and Fallout 4 and blow shit up. So, otherwise, let me see what else is going on in my life. You know, get ready for Christmas. We do not put up decorations. We have a cat, and cats and decorations go together like water and oil. It just, you know, it just doesn't mix. So, you know, mostly with me, it's like trying to figure out what my kids want. And fortunately, my older two are starting, you know, especially like my oldest Sam. She's like, look, I need knives. So I got her a knife. I got a pretty decent knife. And then,
that's not.
I think she meant a cooking knife, though, dude. She didn't mean.
That's what I meant. I didn't get her a sword. I got her a decent
knife.
A decent, yeah, a butterfly knife. You know, they start slicing up bread. No, because Kevin, you posted what some good knives are, so I went with that. And they're not
thank
cheap.
God, thank God you did.
Yeah, it's they're really ridiculously expensive. But I just got one.
Those are actually not that bad. You can get some Japanese steel knives, man. They're like $300 each.
I didn't go with that.
Yeah.
I went with the $100 one, which is just what she wanted. So I'm like, okay,
good.
And then Sid is between the I don't know what I want to. Well, I could suggest this, so that, at least I got that. And then my youngest, who doesn't know what the fuck she wants, but I'm like, hey, I bought a virtual reality game that you guys aren't gonna be able to play because I have to hook up through my computer.
This is just your way of tricking them into your kid into setting it up for you.
I would absolutely love that. It's the best thing about having kids is that they can handle the modern technology that I'm falling behind on, or are too lazy.
Yes.
To deal with.
That's the key.
So, yeah, I'm just, you know, so I'm going through Amazon. I'm like, well, I got to get it this week because after this week, forget it. It won't get to your house on time. So I'm just like trying to like go through like, okay, I've got some of the stuff they said they want now. Let's get the goofy shit. You know, not that kind of goofy. You know? Although close. Although very, like maybe one step to the right of that. I don't want to downplay. You kind of nailed it a little bit, but. Well, because when my kids were growing up, they're like, well, you know, this is what we want for Christmas. I'm like, I'm not buying that shit. Ask your mom or ask somebody, you know, some fucking nice relative of yours. Don't give me lists. I'll give you what the fuck I want to give you. You know, and they're like, no, we want other stuff. I'm like, do you remember what I got you last year? Yeah. Did you like it? Yeah. Then shut up. You know, so then they just stopped giving me lists because, like, Dad gets us the good stuff. Mm.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm so sure that's what they say. They just give up because you don't get them what they want anyway.
Exactly.
So fuck it. Dad doesn't understand how Christmas works. He just gets.
No, Dad does.
He just wants to give us what he wants to give us. Which
that's right.
Dad doesn't. It's supposed to be about the other person.
It's not supposed to be about gifts at all.
When you're buying them a gift, you buy them what they want.
They like what I give them.
Oh, okay.
Look, man, you don't know. You don't have kids.
Well, who doesn't like when somebody gives them for free? It could be anything.
No, because most people are kind of like.
Thanks for the pack of underwear. I totally need.
Most people are kind of like, hey, do you have a receipt for that gift? That's like the one thing where I'm just kind of like.
I've never been anybody that does that. Come on.
Oh, I have.
I've done it.
Well, Mom did it because you bought her like some shirt that was like double extra large or something.
Yeah, I get that though. I just told her no. I'm like, no, sleep in it. I don't give a shit. That's I mean, a bad call on my part for getting her shirt too big, but still, it's like if you ask me for a fucking receipt when I give you a gift, I'll just take the gift and then that's the end of your fucking Christmas.
I gave her a subscription to Soldier of Fortune magazine and she canceled
and and she's just like,
she was so mad.
Like, to me, she's like, oh, there's all these hot fucking mercenaries in this fucking magazine. I thought that was funny as shit. Like, look, you can field strip an M16. It's like, what am I gonna do with this goddamn subscription? I'm like, read it. It's like there are some pretty hot guys in this. Oh my god! I'm like, Ma, Jesus.
Had to teach her a lesson, man. She got me that goddamn Bon Appetit magazine every year.
She thought you liked it.
And no, she didn't. It was just some impulsive bullshit that she got. Which, you know, she renewed her subscription and they were like, get it for a friend. And I would get this thing every year. And I was like, that magazine was the worst. It just was full of recipes that always had like a few ingredients that nobody had in their house. You know, that you would have to go seek out on a mission to find so you could make some stupid souffle with fucking coconut and Cuban garlic or something. It's horrible. And I was just like, Mom, stop giving this to me. And she just kept giving it to me, so I just said, you know what? I'm going to show her what it's like. I'm going to give her something she doesn't fucking want. And so and she canceled that thing. That sucked because that fucking magazine subscription cost $75.
Oh, yeah.
But it was fun. I got the reaction I wanted. And I no longer got that goddamn Bon Appetit magazine. When she used to send me the Savillon magazine or something, that was okay because she wrote for that one. So it was like you could read her, like, ridiculous I went traveling fucking stories, and at the end she'll always write that bullshit and feel good thing that people, you know. It was so phony. I don't know. It's just whatever. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm done. Mm-hmm. You hijacked my story, so.
He's not done.
Good Dick Goddard.
Dick Goddard.
It's on the map. That's how the map was in the 70s.
That's what she said.
No computers, just somebody had to draw that shit.
And incredible sideburns with the turtleneck.
Yeah, somebody had to draw that shit.
That was great.
Put that picture up there. Look at that.
Look at it. It comes scrolling down.
Yeah. Woo!
That's high tech, dude. That's like one step. And all those colors are so Star Trek, you know?
Somebody had to put that together. Some intern had to fucking put this weather map together.
Yeah, I've been watching that TV show.
Calm down.
There was this old TV show that they revamped from England called Survivors about a plague that goes and wipes out pretty much everybody.
Oh, it's right up your alley.
Yeah, it is. But there was the original one I never got to watch, so I started watching that. And it's really early British sitcom drama, but it's actually pretty watchable if you're in the mood for it. I mean, won't be everybody's cup. You know, Kevin, I don't see you watching. You'd be like, oh my god, fuck this. But yeah, I'm just like looking at this, going, yeah, this is probably around the same time period because, you know, I don't want to mock it. I don't, because I know my kids are looking at the stuff that, you know, shit we used to have. You know, especially when you start talking about the time before the internet, and then you might as well be talking about dinosaurs.
I hate watching like shows, like say a show on Netflix, and I'll watch it, and I'll be like maybe a season and a few episodes in, and right about there I start deciding that, you know what, this show is not very good. Like there's just some,
I hate that. Yeah,
there's some plot points that come up, and you're just like, this is not. It was you were thinking it was going to be good or it was going to go somewhere, and now it's getting dumb. And it's like, I get mad because I'm like, now I'm like stuck. Like I either watched like a season and a half for fucking nothing, and I'm going to stop watching this shit, and I wasted like 20 hours of my life or something, or I got to, you know, just grin and bear it and get through another fucking 3 seasons of this horrible garbage. I don't know. I'm at that point with fucking some of those shows, like, I wait for other people to tell me that it's really good. I want to see if it's true. Because I'm watching that Peaky Blinders, and Peaky Blinders is like okay.
Okay.
I like Cillian Murphy, but nothing happens in it, man. It's just a fucking, you know,
blah blah blah.
Some fucking English guys fucking wandering around beating people up and shit. It's just like, it's just really going nowhere.
You know, I've been on YouTube going through like short like movie shorts, like horror movies, post-apocalyptic, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of them are garbage, but every so often you find one, you're like, wait, this is fucking.
Did you see that movie preview with Natalie Portman that's coming out?
No.
That's right up your alley, man. It's like some weird post-apocalyptic fucking, I don't know, some alien race, and they have to go investigate it and wiped out humanity or something. It's based on some books. It looks really interesting, and it's weird that it's got Natalie Portman in it, because these days, because she's won an Oscar and everything, she's not signing on to garbage. So it might be good. All right, Anderson, how was your week? Stop playing your video game. Pause it. Pause your video game and talk to us.
Man.
Press pause. Press it.
Build base. Built the base. I'm playing off to the side.
All right, I'm watching the trailer for it now.
Good.
Nothing really. Just the usual, the work and all that stuff. And then, what
Browns
was it?
terrible. Did you watch Browns lose today?
The Browns are terrible. Last night, of course, like Brian said, Hatebreed was in town. So it was the annual meeting of I'm friends with Frank crowd.
Oh.
And that's pretty much all it was.
There's a lot of those.
There's a lot of people just hanging out and just like, there he is, and then they all jump on him and they all talk to him and stuff. And it's like, I just walk by and I'm like, what's up, dude? And he's like, nothing. What's going on? I'm like, nothing. I'm not going to stand here and be surrounded by all these people. So,
Glomming.
later. Right. You know.
My friend. Hey, everybody. Picture taken. It's my
Right,
friend.
so-
More pictures.
But whatever. It was cool.
I'm going to go to that Gluttons show, and I'm going to tell everybody it's just because I know James. But really, it's because all these hot women show up when James is anywhere. So I want
That is
Right.
pretty true.
I want to see that happen
That
again.
was last.
Yeah.
Well, that was last night.
Oh, was it last night? No, that was that one. But he's got that. Doesn't he have the? He has a bigger one coming up. It's not last night, right?
We probably had more coming up, but
There's
last night was
There's
the
another one on
benefit.
my calendar. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, whatever. It was a good time. It's the typical stuff. I was supposed to go with my nephew, who just died in October, and it was kind of like I don't know what you call it, cathartic type of thing or whatever. Because
You didn't pick his corpse
The
up and
last
take
time-
him. Like, come on!
no.
Weekend at Anderson.
Weekend at Bernie's type.
Right.
The last time that Hebrew showed up, it was me and him, and he was like, dude, we don't even have tickets. And I'm like, don't worry about it, I'm Anderson.
Yeah, I remember this.
Like, we'll get in.
You got him in there. That was crazy.
I'm like, yeah, I was like, we'll get in somehow. Don't worry about it. He's like, nah, dude, we're going to have to buy tickets. I don't have any money. It's all sold out. Ah! And the next thing you know, he's like running up to me. He's like, I'm in. I got a ticket. And I was like, yeah, so go in. And he goes in, and then I got a ticket from somebody, so I got in. So we both got in for free.
Well, that's cool.
And so yesterday was my niece's daughter's 1 year birthday. She's 1 year old, right? And so I don't know what you'd call her, my second cousin, or if my cousin once removed, or I just call her. That's my great niece. I don't know, not a cousin. I didn't mean cousin. I meant niece. Great niece. But so we went to that party, and my nephew's fiance showed up at the party. She's like, "Are you going to Hatebreed tonight?" And I was like, "Well, I was planning on it, but I don't really have the cash. I don't have a ticket. You know." I was like, "I'm just gonna go down there and hang out with the guys and see everybody and stuff." And she's like, "Okay." So I left the party, and she texted me. She's like, "I got a free ticket right here. You can have." And I'm pretty sure that it was his, because they had just one. And they said, "Here, you should take it." And I said, "Okay." So I'm standing in the lobby of the House of Blues, and she goes to the booth and gets the tickets, and she turns around, she hands me the ticket. She goes, "Here you go, here's your ticket." And I grabbed it, and I looked up at the sky, and I went, "You see that? We did it again. We got in for free again, even when you're not here." So
That's nice. It's a good story.
So it was a good time. It was all right. I got to see everybody, and the usual suspects: Ron and Oz, Dan and Gary, and all the guys from James, and Frank, and Torres, and all them guys. It was all right. It was a good time. And then Hatebreed played for like an hour, and they finished up, and I was like, "Well, that's an hour. I guess they're coming back out." And everybody just started walking out. Everybody was just like,
Yeah, we're done.
and I was like, "What?" I go, "What's going on?" I go, "They only played for an hour." And they're like, "Yeah, but it's Hatebreed. They played like 30 songs."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay, I guess you're right. Like they do have.
Go to
like
see the
a-
Ramones back in the day, and it'd be like 70 songs later, and it's only like 20 minutes into the set, and they're like, they're done.
You're right. You're like, well, they only played for half an hour. It's like they played every song they have. All right. So, but it was a good time. Then we went to the bar. Then we went back to the bar afterwards and hung out with them there. And it was just more of the same. Just everybody crowding around Frank, hey, remember, and it's cool. You know, they're all friends of his and stuff. It's not like, you know, they're strangers or nothing. But it's like, seriously, guys, it's Frank. Like,
yeah, we remember him.
You're just mad that you couldn't go up and talk to him, touch his shirt,
He didn't kneel before you.
put your hand on his back, just leave it there. Oh, did we lose him?
I see him.
All right, he's just zoning out. Don, you still alive? No,
I think
he's just
gone.
frozen. But see, this isn't unusual.
Yeah, he's gone.
This is just how it is.
He's still telling his story, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like, so, you guys,
If you know Don, he could just sometimes do that, and it's okay. So my week, I set up. Oh, we lost you for a second. You back now?
no, I noticed that I was talking and I was like, are you guys even listening to me?
yeah, see, I said, like, yeah, he's a goner.
I set up my PlayStation VR, and it's okay. It's more comfortable, I think, than the Oculus, but it has a little bit more light bleed around the nose if you have the lights on. Not a big deal, because you can always shut your lights off unless you live someplace where you can't. I don't know where that is. The sun, maybe if you live on the sun.
You live with somebody that wants the light on just to be a dick.
But it has the headphones are like, they give you these earbuds. I hate earbuds, and they plug into like the wire, and that whole thing kind of blows. Apparently, Sony's changing it, so they're going to get rid of that thing. And the other thing is that kind of blows about it is if you're a cool kid and you have a 4K TV with HDR, because Sony's PlayStation supports the HDR now, and or you have RGB with the wide color range or whatever. So this is not going to affect most people, but it did affect me. The pass-through on the current PSVR does not pass HDR or the wide color gamut through. So it kind of blows. So you got to disconnect it and switch the HDMI wires in the back of your PlayStation in order to make it work. Sony supposedly is going to be releasing a new model that includes built-in headphones and better chip to fix that problem. But if you buy the original one, you're screwed, man. Otherwise, it's alright. It's okay. It's got a little bit less of a resolution than the Oculus Rift, but you don't really notice it. And, you know, even if you want to just play like a regular game, and you can play it with the Oculus on, and there's like a giant, it's like having a 120-inch screen in front of your face. There's just a giant freaking screen. But, you know, one of the biggest problems I have with these things is that the lenses fog up. So I bought some anti-lens fog stuff, and I'm going to see if that works. Apparently it's just due to, like, the temperature differential, because you got these lenses so close to your warm head. And, I mean, Brian, you'd be fine with it because you're a fucking monster from hell. So,
yeah.
It'll be ice cold. But if you know, and then the outside temperature is cold, so it just fogs up. It's like, man, what the F? So,
I have no body temperature.
I finished Prey. That was a good game. I liked it. It's a lot like BioShock, you know.
It's an MC Hammer game.
You know, it's just
Why we pray.
You're on board a space station. It's gotten infected with this, like, these alien-like creatures, and the crew leaves all these, like, messages around. And some of the crew are still on board, so you're not completely alone the whole time. And there's, like, you know, your usual interesting weapons and stuff like that. You can go outside into space and, like, float around, and, like, you'll find, like, a space shuttle where, like, everyone's dead because they tried to evacuate and you know, lost pressure. Cool things like that. Bodies floating around outside, or they'll be in, you know, you won't be able to move from one part of the station to the other, so you'll have to go out to the airlock and then try to get over to the other side in order to get through the other airlock door. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's sold well. Who knows if they'll make another one, but it's good. The one thing I'm glad about is it didn't have a lot of sneaking, because it seems like a lot of these adventure-style, like, shooter games involve some kind of sneaking element. And as everybody knows, I'm terrible
yeah, we know.
with sneaking.
You're The Last of Us was fucking hysterical.
Yeah, I'm just no good at that.
Watched you fucking not try to sneak at all, try to fight. They're like, fuck you, I'm gonna fucking fight you. And they just overwhelm you like, this is bullshit. Fucking, all right. I need a sandwich, I'm hungry, or whatever the fuck it was. And then he comes back, he's like, all right, I'm gonna try it again. God damn it.
Yeah, no good. I just don't have patience.
Oh, he heard me. He heard me. You know, and then you got the other two that are absolutely, you know, the kid and then the woman that are fucking worthless and not trying to help you, you know.
See, what it is, right, is something I've never really grasped about video games, but I guess, like, and I never knew this as a kid, really, and I always figured that video games had a kind of artificial intelligence, and so that the game was always different whenever you played it, and you know, the creatures would react to how you're playing the game, and the game would sort of adjust itself, because, I don't know, I just thought that's how it worked. But apparently not. Video games in the early days were on a pattern, and so you knew that if you were playing like Ghosts and Goblins and you went to the right of the screen, you know, you knew exactly which guy was coming first and then which guy was coming second and what was going to happen, and the bird might fly over and drop an egg and you knew how to dodge it and whatever. And I think that same sort of mentality goes into these sneaking games. Like, if you just stay still, a guy's going to walk in a certain pattern all the time. And so then you can, like, study the pattern and then sneak up on them and take them out. But for whatever reason, man, I play the game and I'm just thinking, hiding behind this couch is bullshit. This guy is going to see me at any second, and it's going to be fucking full-on war, so I'm just going to take him out right now. And that never works. It just does. The gun's always really loud. Kabam! You know.
Well, guns are.
You get attacked by like 6 guard dogs and like giant guys and bulletproof vests and stuff.
Helicopters.
I think the first sneaking game was like the original Castle Wolfenstein on like the Apple IIe and Commodore 64. Because that game was really hard. You had like 4 bullets usually, and the SS guard would come and kill you if they.
Which game was that?
The original Castle Wolfenstein.
Oh, okay.
And but that was like, that's the first game I can remember where you actually had to sneak around and try to get stuff done. I mean, you could argue that Berserk was kind of a sneaky game, but you could shoot everything in that game if you were good too. So.
I liked Iron Storm. That was like the first FPS I ever played. There was some decent sneaking around in that too, but you got to. There's only like one, like in the middle, where you were on the enemy base. You had to like sneak past guards, but it was kind of, you know, it was sort of like, oh, I'm hiding behind a fucking potted plant that can't see me. You know, it would be a little bit fucking ridiculous at times, but otherwise, you know, it was a pretty fun game to play. I mean, but it was like you said, it was, you know, once you knew where everything was, you could kind of just fall through the pattern, you know, after you died once or twice.
It just seems like lazy programming too, from the game designer's perspective, because they're just setting up their bots of their characters into a predefined pattern, and then they're sort of saying, they're looking down on it from an overhead, probably drawing on a whiteboard somewhere, and they're like, so if he goes here to the plant, and then he goes through this door and under this little hole here, and then he can go out that way to this destination. You know what I mean? And like, actual, like, the gameplay of it is terribly boring, and you got to keep doing that bullshit over and over again. So you're kind of sucking it up for them. I want some combat, man. That's what I'm, you know, I want to be overpowered, and I want to go at a guy and, you know, take him out. I don't want it to be super easy, but I don't want it to be like, you know, like, oh, you were caught, bloop, you know, and then you're like, fucking.
Yeah, there has to be a chance where you can at least stop the guy from hitting the alarm. It's not like a human sees you and all of a sudden the lights turn red. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Is he wearing like some sort of security contacts?
And then they have like the whole army come at you all at once too, which is always ridiculous.
Well, they all want to get a piece.
Yeah.
I was in on that kill. Were you? Yeah, I was there. I was there too. Timmy, you weren't there. I was there. No, you weren't fucking there. I was there.
Horse shit. All right, anyway, let's do our drinking game.
The Walking Dead Our World? What the hell is that?
Jennifer Cha-Cha was in the Alexa news this week.
Oh,
Alexa can't say Cha-Cha, though. She says...
Cha-Cha?
Chia. And I'm like, huh. That's Jennifer Cha-Cha. All right, if you never played the drinking game before, if we happen to mention Jennifer Cha-Cha as a spokesperson, you have to drink. If someone was shot, you have to drink. And if it happened to happen on Cleveland's east side, you have to drink. If you get a hat trick, All three, you got to finish your drink. You don't have to. I mean, no one's going to come over and force you.
Don't kicks it.
You will feel some shame
You.
that you didn't do it, but we'll forgive you. Cleveland, Ohio. Officials have identified 2 men who were shot dead in a vehicle Friday night on the city's west side. Drink. Ricky Gray, 39, of Strongsville, and Steven Sopko, 29, of Cleveland, were killed in the shooting that happened about 7:30 p.m. on West 45th Street in the city's Clark Fulton neighborhood, according to the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner's Office and police. Gray and Sopko were found in the vehicle with multiple gunshot wounds and pronounced dead at the scene, police said. Investigators learned an unidentified man was standing outside of the vehicle when he fired shots into the vehicle, police said. Hold on, you guys talk to each other for like a second. I got to get a cough drop because my throat's getting dry and I can't read these. Hold on.
All right. Hold on, I have to poop.
Hello, Brian. Okay. Well, you can do that right here in my face.
You can do that right here. Right on Cleveland.
It is okay. You may be
Jesus. I'm sitting there watching.
I am your friend.
Watching all those goddamn cowbelly vines, and that's all it is the voice from my iPad or whatever talking. It's funny shit. And my daughter was the one, my 15 was like, "Have you ever seen this?" I'm like, "What's this?" And it's like completely offensive, and I'm like, "Go ahead, keep watching it. What am I possibly sparing you from?" You know?
Who am I to tell you not to watch
Yeah, you know, enjoy your life. What the hell? So yeah.
We put up Christmas lights all weekend.
Yeah, we can't do that. The cat will destroy it. Anything that dangles from the street
outside.
Yeah, we can't do that here either. The condo's like, no, it all has to be uniform. And I'm like, that's fine. I have no desire at all to fucking do any of that shit.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's fine. As long as I ain't got to mow the lawn. But then, we'll take care of all the plowing and the snow blowing stuff. And the guy shows up with whatchamacallit, like a snow blower from like the 70s. You know, so it's just loud as shit. You know, it's fucking ancient.
Sorry, folks, I got a cold and it's killing me. New Russia Township, Ohio. No idea where this is. You guys ever been to New Russia Township? Brian, you have a delivery to New Russia Township?
I don't think I have, but I could be wrong.
He has.
Lorraine investigators identified the human remains discovered in October in a wooded area.
I've never been there.
On West Road.
Never once.
Do you know where that's at? It's in like Elyria.
Yeah, I don't actually have at this point. I've never actually had delivery over there.
Minerva Tripp was last seen in August 2012 in the 5400 block of Tillman Avenue near Detroit Avenue on Cleveland's west side. Her remains were discovered October 19th. She was 41 years old at the time of her disappearance. The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations used DNA to make its identification. BCI relayed its missing person status to the Lorain County coroner after a deer hunter discovered the remains. Investigators have not said whether they have any suspects in Tripp's disappearance and death. The investigation is ongoing.
Okay. Did I get lost again?
It's interesting that I don't know why DNA takes that long to test. I just don't. People talk about the backlog and everything, but I don't know the process. I mean, how long does it take to test a sample of DNA? I mean, really? Does it take days, weeks? What is the deal with that? Is it just that many?
It takes 6 months just to do.
What?
They're saying it takes 6 months just to do an autopsy on somebody to tell you how they died.
It does take a while to get those done too. That I can kind of understand though, because they're cutting everything up and they're taking photos of each part of your body and stuff. But I'm pretty sure DNA, other than like putting the sample inside little tubes with some solution and moving them from solution to solution, it's going into some sort of a machine that just does like a spectral analysis of something or other and spits it out on a card. And it's like, couldn't you buy more of those or something? I don't know. Just hire people. There's a job shortage. I don't know. Anderson needs work. He could be a DNA tester guy.
You got that right.
Not that he would want to do it, because he wouldn't. But you know.
I mean, as long as I don't have to touch the blood or bathe in it or nothing, you know?
Just,
You want to bathe in it, don't lie.
I mean, if they don't frown upon that.
Cleveland, Ohio, a Cuyahoga County judge has ordered YouTube personality Alyssa Violet and her boyfriend Ricky Faze Banks to stop posting on social media about the Barley House after she set off an online firestorm for accusing staff at the bar for mistreatment. Literally, there's a judge that got involved with it. Judge John J. Russo on Thursday granted Barley House parent company, West 6 Restaurant Group, a temporary restraining order that also orders Violet, Banks, and anyone in active concert with them to stop cyberbullying and cyber attack campaigns against the Barley House. Can you cyberbully a business?
I guess.
Probably. You could try to run them out of business by posting negative comments like, like I went there and the food was really crappy and the service was bad. And if you do that enough, like especially in, because I know that works at hotels. Like I don't know about so much as restaurants, but I think it applies to restaurants, especially chains, where they all belong. Like they get a rating system, and if the rating goes down, there's like a penalty or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, freedom of speech, man. Can't you just tell people that you don't like, you don't like Drug Mart? You tell people I don't like Drug Mart. You know?
There could be no penalty.
It's funny. I haven't gone to Drug Mart in ages. I got a Walgreens around the corner. So, yeah, but I mean, it's one thing to say I don't like it. It's another thing to go after them by pretending you're a bunch of different people just to bring their rating down, so that you actually generate more, business for you. So I know that's a problem. Yeah.
All right. The order also says that the two must stay away. What was that, Don? What's that?
Nothing.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say cyberbullying could also be like bothering people who are like posting on the website. They're like, I love this store, it's the greatest place in the world, and then people just be like, you're a loser.
Well, it's true. Yeah.
I am.
That's cyberbullying too, so it's not necessarily just the business.
The order also says the two must stay at least 500 feet from the warehouse district establishment. How do you figure that out exactly? You're like kind of down there, and you're like,
Your GPS starts to fucking sets up a tone.
Yeah, you're just...
There's a line. There's a string.
Big,
I've got movement.
that buzzer from like Family Feud goes off when you get too close to it. It's like, fuck. I just want to go to this bar over here. Nope. And have no communication with any employees, including through telephone, online, blogging, or social media. Quote, it is further appearing to this court that enjoining defendants from disseminating false or misleading information related to plaintiffs, their employees, and their patrons is reasonable to end defendants' cyberbullying campaign and is no greater than is required for protection of plaintiffs, their employees, and
Sound
their
like a British
patrons,
Trump.
and does not impose undue hardship. Russell wrote the order. The order expires in 2 weeks, and then all gloves are off and shit can start up again. And a hearing is set for December 13th. Violet, whose name is listed in the restraining order as Alyssa Violet Butler, and Banks, whose name is Richard Bankston, have millions of followers on YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, and other social media platforms. Their followers, who call themselves the Clout Gang, unleashed on the bar after the two posted photographs and videos accusing staff at the bar of groping Violet and assaulting both of them before kicking them out of the bar, and then egging on two patrons to attack them. Banks broke his
I
finger,
summon you.
and Violet posted a photograph the next morning of her with a swollen lip and a black eye. Barley House responded by posting their own video Wednesday on YouTube, with surveillance camera footage that the bar said contradicts their claims. The bar claims its employees have been getting death threats, and fans have sent employees threatening text messages that include photographs of their homes. The bar's website was hacked, and fans upset over the incident left hundreds of one-star reviews on Yelp and Google, sinking the bar's overall rating. There you go, Brian. Just what you said. Banks responded to Barley House's video in a message posted on Twitter Thursday. Barley released a video adding a false narrative, flat out lying, and still leaving out a chunk of security footage of what happened downstairs.
Oh, he wrote. That was the guy. He promised to release another video soon, but that was before Thursday's restraining order was granted. I don't know. It's a fine line. I guess 2 weeks. 2 weeks is all right.
Fine line.
Youngstown, Ohio. Hockey town. City employees in Northeast Ohio have found human body parts in a ravine. Parts were found Thursday.
Well, where else are you going to find them?
While Youngstown wastewater employees were checking manhole covers. A Youngstown police lieutenant says the workers check manholes about once a month, making it difficult to determine how long the remains might have been there. What kind of weird job is that?
Hey, go check that manhole. Wait, what?
You're going to go out.
You lean over, tentacle just grabs you.
You're going to stop at every manhole and you're going to look inside, make sure there's nothing in there. This is kind of.
Every time I hear manhole, I just think of like, what?
Put your foot in it. Oh, do it. Put your foot in there.
You think of somebody's.
It's got
gay
me.
guys like
You think somebody's butthole. Man, what you got?
Yeah, manhole. I'm thinking like if you Google manhole, you get something you did not want.
Look,
Manowar?
you could Google just about anything
Like-
and get something you don't want.
Exactly.
That's pretty true.
Especially if you have your safe search switched off.
Mine always
Okay,
is.
man. Go look in that manhole. Be like, get out of here. Look at no man.
Lieutenant Doug Bobovniak said authorities are unsure whether it's a man or a woman because not all of the parts have been found. Where's the booby part?
Well, that's it. Guys have boobs too.
Where's the vagina? I don't know.
There you go.
Well, if it's bones,
Could be his manhole.
how do you tell with bones? I mean, I know you can tell, but I'm saying, like, if you're just eyeballing some bones, how do you tell a woman from a man?
Just eyeballing these bones. Don't mind me.
Don't women have, like, less ribs or something?
I'm sure they didn't just look at it and immediately identify the bones as what they are. They have to put through a lot of testing, like DNA shit, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I would think, too.
They wouldn't just look at a fucking... And I'm sure the skeleton wasn't laying there like the fucking thing you have in the science class, you know, just it all complete in one spot, you know.
Listen, I've totally failed biology. So if there's, like...
Clearly.
If there's some extra vertebrae or something that women have that men don't,
Do they make kids
feel free to write in and
dissect
let me
shit
know.
anymore?
What?
Do they
No.
make kids dissect
No.
stuff? Because I remember we had that giant fucking cricket, that African fucking locust we had to fucking dissect. And, like, we had no problem with the pig embryo, but that fucking locust, like, nobody wanted to touch it. Because we're like, dude, aren't those things capable of, like, just going to sleep and, like, you know, acting like they're dead? And some guy in class was bringing that up, and another dude's like, dude, that was alien. It didn't matter. It did not matter. It was like, yeah, but they must have got the idea from something.
Well, I think you can still dissect stuff, but I didn't do it in general biology, so I think it was advanced that you had to do it. Like do a worm or something. The fetal pig. People that do fetal pigs.
Fetal pig.
But I think that was only for the advanced kids.
Shot me.
I remember that band.
Or maybe a general class that wasn't full of knuckleheads like we were. My school, basically, in high school,
My school.
there was basically 3 levels of classes. There was basic, which was for your mostly idiots. General, which is where you put all the average students. And then AP.
I took all the general
kids
classes
to go
like
to
my senior year
college.
because I didn't give a shit.
I always took general up until senior year, and my senior year I took basic English. And I took consumer math because I just wanted to get out of high school. I didn't want to keep going. I know, Anderson, I should have shared that plan with you because you had to keep going. But
Yeah,
you weren't alone. Burnett had.
I was a super senior.
Although I think Burnett never.
I was
did
a
graduate.
super.
Bates,
he
I
never
think,
went.
Bates had to go another year too, didn't he? I think Bates did.
Yeah, I think he had to go.
I don't think it mattered in the long run with Bates. Bates kind of like is out there living the life.
He's a truck driver now.
I know. Then he was a war hero. Then he was a poet. And like, Jesus Christ, this fucker's all over the goddamn place. God bless him, man.
Right? But no, that's my super senior year. I was like 18
Super
going on
senior
19.
year. Yeah, get a
And
beard.
I was in class with a bunch of freshmen. It was just like what Kevin used to say, where it's like, "Gee, Mister, can you vote?"
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can.
Yeah, that was always embarrassing. That's why I took all the general math classes and shit my senior year because I just didn't fucking care. And also, you're like the oldest person in the class. It's only 4 years difference, but back then, at that age, that is actually a big difference. Between 18 and 14.
Yeah, if you have to
13,
if you have to make stuff up, like health was always like a 9th grade thing. Part
I failed health
part
my
of
first
gym.
time.
So
Man,
then when you go
it.
in like your senior year or whatever to take health again, you're there with freshmen, and it's like, this is really awkward, dumb.
Actually, I was in there with like a bunch of like, I failed it, and then I was held back 1 year, and there was like a bunch of dudes. We all fucking failed, so it wasn't like just me. I didn't feel so bad. And then I had Feebig. He was my health coach. Yeah, he was fucking great. Like I was just a blast. What?
Wasn't that him?
Oh,
he was
yeah.
the one. He was my health teacher, and
He would tell you everything, man.
You had to teach gym and health. It was the rule. That's how they got rid of Mrs. Hackett.
Well, they got rid of her.
Yeah, because she wasn't allowed to teach gym anymore because she was the one that the arrow went into the kid's mouth.
I didn't know that.
That's why we didn't have archery anymore. You weren't there, maybe. They probably still had archery when you were there. They got rid of archery because they were doing it in the back gym. I guess in the back gym there was that upper area. They used to do archery up there. And she didn't have control of her classrooms, and some kids were making faces, and the one kid let the arrow go, and it stuck in the kid's mouth.
Jesus.
And then she passed out.
Yeah.
And so...
yeah, you got to kind of be on hand.
That was the end
she
of
passed
the
out.
kid.
Yeah, she passed out from it, and she probably thought the kid was dead, and her life was over. But so she only taught health, and then they announced that you had to take. And for whatever reason, I was in the class when she got this letter or something that explained that she was going to lose her job because she had to take. She had to teach gym and health.
She had to do both.
Yeah.
And she couldn't,
Right.
so she was bawling in the middle of our class, and I was like, I didn't care back then because I was just, a teenage shithead and didn't like anybody. So,
I had Hackett,
Right.
dude. She failed me.
just looking at her like, who cares?
Yeah,
Is that her fault though?
Get out of here.
She's the reason.
It's kind of her fault because she didn't have control of her class when the kids had weapons. I mean, I don't know.
No, I mean that she failed Brian.
Oh,
that was. I mean,
Brian's
it might have, but I mean, she was about as fucking interesting, as Kevin put, once eating a brown donut. I mean, she wasn't that much fucking fun to, go to class and see. I mean,
You guys eat round donuts?
Jesus, this guy.
the brown donut and the multi-pack. You're all excited about.
Oh, brown. I thought you said round.
No, the brown. Because you get there's all people are like, well, we got donuts, and you're like, all right, they got the cinnamon and the powdered, and then there's that fucking plain one that sucks, and it's so
cake donut.
On one hand it's like this exciting moment that you're gonna have a treat, and then on the other hand it's not. It's just like it's just a flavorless piece of dough. It's awful. So
It's true.
I know. There's some jackpots that go, I like the brown donut.
I know. I've heard that before. And I'm just like,
Fucking shit.
just stop.
Somebody has to.
dip it in your coffee or whatever, but it's the worst.
Makes my coffee taste good.
Yeah.
Nothing makes coffee taste good except for throwing it down the sink.
I'm glad somebody else out there doesn't really like coffee. There's just not many of us, but
Everybody likes coffee. Everybody's like, you want some coffee? I'm like, no, why would I want coffee?
Because it tastes good.
I'm like, it'll warm me. They're like, it tastes good. I'm like, yeah, but it's all boiling hot.
most
We don't
Like,
have to
what do
drink it
I-
right away.
most people don't think coffee tastes good because they're drowning it in creamer and sugar to mask the fact that it doesn't taste very good.
Right. And it's hot. Why would you? I don't understand. It's like if I'm parched, the last thing I want is something hot in my throat.
Yeah, it's the same with
It's like cool and refreshing.
That's always my thing with ham. That's where I get my dislike of
Kevin hates
ham.
ham.
Because
So funny.
Because ham if you just have plain ham that hasn't been fucking bathed in honey sugar and brownness
Right.
and everything else, then it's just like
All the good
this
stuff.
rubbery, sour piece of meat that fucking is cheap shit. And, so they just decorate it and shit. And so everyone's like, I love me some ham. You like the fact that it's, like, glazed with sugar. I don't like the actual ham part. Except for the Black Forest ham that they found in the secret woods of fucking Germany somewhere.
That was cracking me up.
It's ridiculous. All right, Cleveland, Ohio. A man was wounded in the leg in a shooting. Drink. On the east side. Drink again. Police said early Friday morning. The shooting occurred at the 3600 block of Community College Drive, just east of Cuyahoga County Community College.
Oh.
Police say the 20-year-old male victim was taken to Metro Health Medical Center. His condition was not released. It's 50-50. Getting shot in the leg and going to Metro Health. Might not make it out. No other details were released by police early Friday morning. Late Thursday night, another male was wounded in the leg in a shooting, drink again, outside Tower City in downtown Cleveland. A suspect was in custody in that shooting. There's so many shootings that this second shooting was just a byline of the first shooting.
Yeah.
No, actually, there's a story there. The 21-year-old man was shot in the leg about 10 p.m., police said in a news release. Authorities did not identify the victim. Police said the suspects in the shooting ran inside Tower City following the incident, police said. One male was in custody Thursday night. Officers are at the scene.
That's safe.
It's crazy.
I'm going to run into Tower City to be safe.
No, you figure you'd lose them. You know, maybe get down to the rapid station.
There's nobody there. This isn't the Warriors. You're not running through Coney Island.
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool, though. But if you ran into Tower City, they'd just be like, what are you doing? You'd be like, I'm running from somebody. And they'd be like, well, then give me your money so they won't chase you anymore. And you're just like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah. I'm going to get out.
Tower, for those people not from Cleveland, Tower, like if you ever see pictures of Cleveland, there's like this one old building that's kind of tall.
That's Tower City.
And below it is like a mall.
Bunch of zombies.
And I think the mall is actually called the Avenue, but the whole area that's right there is Tower City. And so everybody refers to the mall as Tower City. And so they ran in there, I guess. It's just a mall. And it's a mall that nobody goes to because it's in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
And there's people shooting each other in the leg.
Useless.
Yeah. And you got to pay to park, too. You want to go to the mall? Yeah, let's pay to park. This is dumb.
$20.
It's only good for filming Avengers movies.
So people take the rapid, which is kind of like it's a rapid transit. It's like the L in Chicago.
Taking, like, if you've ever seen the movie The Warriors, that's what taking the rapid's like in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of guys in vests hanging out.
Yeah, just walking around.
Talking about how they're going to rumble and shit, and you're just standing there like, I hope I don't die on the way to this. No, I'm just kidding. It's not like that.
Yeah.
It'd be funny.
These guys don't hurt me.
Starts playing that music as soon as you're on the
It'd be great. Bunch of 70s.
Where the fuck am I going? Yeah, you end up in a park.
Okay, boppers. Like what?
So fucking great. All right. A road rage incident resulted in several shots being fired at a vehicle. Drink. This is in Highland Heights.
That's crazy.
I don't even know where Highland Heights is. By an unknown driver of another passing vehicle about 2:45 a.m. November 26. Three 17-year-old Bedford boys were in the vehicle that was shot at,
There you go.
and one was struck in the leg. The driver drove directly to Hillcrest Hospital where the victim was treated. The incident is under investigation. Went to a good hospital, Hillcrest.
My leg!
Nobody dies there.
You shot me in the leg. Well,
That we know
nobody
of.
that we know of.
A man reported November 22nd an ex-girlfriend whom he has a protection order against
Only in
has
Ohio.
been texting him while he is at work.
She's texting me.
He said he received 20
Well, how's she gonna get a hold of him?
messages.
Stop it.
He got 20 whole messages in the past 2 days,
Wow.
including a threat
That's
towards
it?
his new girlfriend.
I was going to say, is that a lot? Is
Detectives
that a lot?
are investigating the incident involving the 33-year-old woman. Wow, dude. Buck up, man. Well, then again, I don't know what the threat actually says, you know.
He must not be local.
It's like a picture of her sleeping or something with a knife by her neck. Like, I better tell the cops about this.
Yeah.
I think I can handle this one on my own.
They do frown on this sort of shit.
Alright. That's it for the news.
Woo!
Got 5
All the
minutes
news
left
that's
here.
fit to print.
Trying to think if I've watched anything new. I saw the preview for the new Avengers. I mean, Thanos looks a little dumb, but it's to be expected. The rest of it looks pretty good, I guess.
Yeah.
You weren't impressed at all by
I
it?
don't know.
I mean,
I don't know about impressed.
Because it's
But
Don Anderson. Come on.
It's like
Do you know
you,
who he is?
you look at it and you're just like, what? Okay, there's Thanos. Like, what is going to happen? Like, Thanos is coming for the stones,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Who can beat Thanos? Nobody, as it is. Like,
Thor,
Pretty
maybe.
much.
Thor, maybe. Or the Hulk.
maybe, maybe if they work together,
I mean, he's apparently got
It's like
at least one. He's got one stone on that gauntlet, and then he takes obviously one from Vision in the preview. So,
Well, they didn't say that. No, because those were the. I don't think that one was the one that he put in. I don't think was from the Vision.
Oh, okay. Well, it looks like he's getting the one
So
from
the
the
scene-
Vision.
So the scene where they show like the Loki staff or whatever,
Yeah.
picking the one out of his head, that could be anything. We're not so sure. About
Yeah, it looks like Loki's giving him one
It could be.
or something.
right. And he gives him the Tesseract,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's like the Black Panther. He's like, put up the defenses, call everybody in, and give this man his shield. Like, oh, good. It's good that Captain America's got his shield, because if he doesn't have that, we're screwed.
It's
You
true.
know?
It's
like-
all about teamwork, Don. They got to work as a team.
Yeah, but really, do you need the shield? Just build one. Hey, Stark. You know what I mean? Like, hey, my shield is in a kingdom full of the material that makes my shield. Do I really need that shield back? Let's just get some more material.
There's so many people, though. They don't need all of them. Like, every actor.
You can start getting rid of some of these fucking heroes.
There's going to be like 5 minutes for each
They will.
actor, and then it's just kind
Look
of,
at Denise
or the
DeFalco.
movie's going to be like 4 hours long or something, because there's just too many. I mean, what's that guy like in the Iron Man, the dude that flies
It's
around with
too
the wings, the black guy? They don't really need him.
The Falcon.
They don't need the Falcon. I mean,
They don't.
because he's just he's got like a rocket pack kind of thing. It's like, you got Iron Man,
He's
you
a-
got the Falcon's kind
He's
of
Iron Man.
He can fly.
yeah.
He's like a recon kind of guy. He's your
I
spy.
guess. I mean, I'm not saying he's not like.
I actually thought that the
say there's too many people.
live action version Falcon was a lot better than the goddamn comic. The comic was kind of dull. With that
You
guy.
could take some of these people that have no chance against Thanos and put them into something else. You know what I'm saying? Like Scarlett Johansson. Some of these people, like, just come on. What is she gonna do?
Right.
He's ridiculously too powerful
Right.
for these people. So they could have just made
She's the
they could have
Black
made
Widow. She's
another
just like-
movie or something and put them in there, and just gave more screen time to because you just know come on, there's too many of them. It's ridiculous. I mean, the Guardians
Well, if
of
you
the
get rid of
Galaxy
her,
show
you got to
up.
get another female in there because otherwise you're
Jesus.
just freak.
I know. I'm not. Listen, I love this shit. I love it. Love it.
Oh,
It's just
Just
I've been
the,
waiting my whole
oh.
life for this kind of thing, and it's great that they're somehow putting all of these mother effers together in a film. It's just amazing to me.
yeah.
But I still want to be critical.
I waited my whole childhood for that.
Yeah.
For this moment.
Oh, I'm allowed to be. You're allowed to be critical, because it's not going to be the same
No.
as the comic books. You know what I mean? So it's like where Kevin, you read the Infinity Gauntlet and all that stories and all that stuff. So you have an idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
I did. That's where I stopped. That's where I was like, I'm done. I don't want to read any more comic books. They're getting crazy. They're going into space, dealing with time travel and different races and stuff. It's like, it's too much for me.
I mean, basically what
But,
happens in the comic is that, he gets the gauntlet, and then he snaps his fingers, and he makes half of the universe's population disappear instantly. So half the heroes that there are and half the villains immediately vanish.
Right.
And then
Right.
he beats everybody, beats all the heroes, beats all of the Celestials and the, universe time. The only one he didn't fight was the Grand Tribunal because he didn't want to get involved. And then, but then he loses it, and he gives because he doesn't have the mental capacity to handle it. And I don't know who it is, but he's in love with some woman or something. So she steals the gauntlet from him, and then she puts it on, and then it gets all dumb, and eventually it ends up with Adam Warlock, who's also dumb. So hopefully Josh Whedon knows that the end is dumb, and he makes it better. Because if it ends like that, then it's dumb. Because, I mean,
It's got to be better than
Thanos
Justice
is
League.
trying to impress death, and that's just not going to work in a movie. People aren't going to get any. They're not going to understand that shit at all. Lady Death. I mean, that doesn't even make sense.
Lady Death was awesome.
No, you're thinking of you're thinking of Lady Death, but you're thinking of the white chick with the boobs and everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Marvel has like Death.
I won't even pretend that it isn't.
Death is just an like a non-personality creature, and it's like, but it takes the form of a woman, and Thanos was in love with Death.
I remember that vaguely from back in the day.
It's really dumb. So hopefully they fix it.
Okay.
It does look like, though, that he doesn't have all the crystals, and since it's a two-part thing, he'll probably pick them all up in the second one or something, I guess, but I don't know. Maybe they're just going to make it so he can't complete the gauntlet somehow. I don't know, man. It's interesting shit. All right, well, that's it for the show. We'll be back next week with Larry, possibly.
Hopefully. Maybe.
And, yeah, I did get some art for the new show. It looks really good. It's, sent by, I think what I'll do is because I'm not using it yet, so I think I'll say who did it and everything, and show the graphic and everything once I get it all set up, so that way people can, they can absorb it at the same time. 'Cause if I just announce it, then it's dumb, because no one can see it. And everything. But anyway, I got some art. And, hopefully I'll get everything up on the new RSS feed soon. But I got sick, so this weekend was lost. I sat around sneezing and miserable. I blame Anderson for trivia night, giving me this disease.
Yeah. That was my fault, sure.
That's it. You guys got any shots or anything?
No, I'm trying to plug something back in my computer. I accidentally pulled out the fucking one of my mouse cords, so I can't hang up. Oh my god! Okay, here's a lot of
Tuesdays at 11. More tumbleweed before it goes off the air.
All right, that's a good night.
See ya.